It's time for Fan Sports Sunday. If the weekend is a big desert for sports talk, think of this show as an oasis.
Yes, here we go.
Come drink from our pool of hot takes as you quench your thirst with. I thought I was going somewhere, but I'm not. So let's just start the show.
Oh, yes, another little Fan Sports Sunday sprint as we head into Reds baseball. I am Ryan Baker. He is Matt Fontana. Matt, my friend, how is the weekend going?
Oh, it's been beautiful, Ryan. We have a little pool party this afternoon for the kids, so I'm excited about that. It's been just blistering hot. So we had a little cloud cover up in Cleveland this week. So it's good because it's like you won't get fried. But they always, like, I feel like such a parent. They're like, no, the cloud cover, that's when you get most burned because you think that the sun isn't going to come through, but it will. But excited for that. Catching the golf, of course. I know we're going to talk about that. And just it's not even fair anymore at this point when Scotty Scheffler decides to enter a tournament. But it's been a good weekend, man. How about you?
Doing great. I just got back in town from a little vacation, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. But you mentioned the golf, and it's always fun to be in here anytime when you're doing shows and have live sports that you can just react to and pay attention to. As I'm looking up now and seeing Rory hit a shot in his round as he is -8 in the tournament here. But this tournament is over. It's barring John Van de Velde type collapse, which is what makes Scotty Scheffler so good, I think, is that he doesn't do this. He's going to run away here with his fourth career major, one away from the career Grand Slam if he wins this Open Championship. And I was thinking about this morning, Matt, because it's hard to believe that Scotty Scheffler, his first win on tour was just 3 years ago. It was at the Waste Management Open at the beginning of the season of 2022. In the last 3 years now, I guess 2.5 years actually, Scotty Scheffler will, after this, if he finishes this, he will have won 17 tournaments and 4 majors. And I think the only thing that we've ever seen that is more dominant than this stretch from Scotty was Tiger Woods from 2000, 2001, 2002, where, of course, Tiger had the six streak tour wins, 6 in a row. He won in 2000. He won 6 majors in that stretch. And it may be the most dominant athlete sporting performance team that we've ever seen was those 3 years from Tiger. These last 3 years from Scotty are pretty darn impressive, though.
Absolutely, and it's funny you bring up Tiger because this stat got thrown out right before Scotty started his round. Scotty is going for his 10th consecutive win when he holds the outright 54-hole lead. So again, for those non-golfers, basically 54 holes you led through Saturday. You led going into the final round solo, by the way. This would be his 10th consecutive. Tiger Woods has the longest streak. This is the longest streak since Tiger did it. Scotty's looking for 10. Tiger did it 37 times.
Jeez.
37 times that Tiger Woods held the solo lead going to Sunday. It's like the rest of the guys you should have packed up and gone home because you weren't going to beat him. Like, that is a level of dominance that, like you said, Big, we'll never see that again. I don't think we'll ever see what Tiger did. The Tiger Slam, that'll never be done. Owning all 4 majors, again, within not exactly the calendar year, but in order anyway. I don't know if we'll ever see that. But, like, this is going to be the closest that we'll get. Again, if I put Tiger up on that pedestal to say we'll never see the stats that he did, the game, frankly, is a little bit different, and that dominance is just to its own. Scotty Scheffler is going to be the closest that we'll ever get to that, and we're seeing it. And it's funny that you were mentioning such a great point about his first win came just 3 years ago. So I looked this up quick. That means Scotty was 26 when he won his first PGA Tour tournament. Tiger was 20 when he won his first one. So, like that's also kind of a different thing where, Scotty didn't come on the scene when he was 21 years old. Was doing this. Now, he's making up for lost time in 3 years of just being completely dominant, but it's just going to be a little bit different as Scotty's into his 30s. Like, Tiger was dominant in his 20s. Scotty's going to be dominant probably in his 30s, And I just wonder, I was even talking about this a little on ESPN last night, of like, who's going to be his Phil Mickelson? Is it going to be Rory, where they just go head-to-head, and when these guys show up, it's going to be one of those two, and they like each other, but there's a little friendly rivalry there. There were some barbs thrown this week with Scotty and his presser, kind of maybe directed at Rory. Like, that's almost the interesting thing for me right now, is who's going to be that Phil Mickelson to Scotty Scheffler's Tiger.
I love that you just said that, because I was thinking as you started off talking about Scotty, like, we always knew, like, there were different guys with Tiger a little bit. Like at the beginning of the Tiger run, David Duval was so good. Sergio had a few times there.
Yeah.
But we always knew Phil was there. Like, and even though it wasn't close, there was always Phil there. We haven't had, even in just 3 years, we haven't had that with Scotty. Like, Rory's always there, and Rory won the Masters finally, but Rory can't, to me, He can't hang with Scotty in the mental department. And that's where Tiger beat a lot of people. But Scotty earlier had a double bogey, and Scotty Vegas and I were talking about it, and I was like, it's no big deal because he's going to birdie the next hole. And that's what he did. Like, nothing phases Scotty Scheffler here. And we thought maybe Bryson DeChambeau could be the guy to do it. Maybe Brooks Koepka could be the guy. We keep waiting for Jordan Spieth to maybe get his game back. Could it be Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa? Who knows? There's just nobody right there. There's nobody else in golf right now that's dominant enough to be his number two, and that's kind of weird. And maybe I feel like maybe we're not giving Scotty Scheffler enough credit in this little run of his, because maybe we have no Robin to Batman, but Batman is so damn good.
He is, and maybe we also have to just shift our mindset to say it's going to be a group, because that next group of, like, let's take Rory out of it, because I think we all hope that it's Rory, but it's pretty clear, like, something, I mean, obviously the off-the-course stuff and his family and like that, like, Rory didn't seem like himself over the last couple of years, and I think finally getting the Masters, kind of getting that done with the career Grand Slam is going to, like, loosen him up. But beyond that, like, yeah, Xander Schauffele is usually there. Colin Morikawa is usually there. It'd be nice if Justin Thomas could get some of his stuff figured out and could be there consistently. But, yeah, that's the problem, is it's going to just have to be like a group and a collection, knowing that it is just going to forever and always be chasing Scotty Scheffler. When he enters tournaments, before long, Bake, he's going to be minus money. We have not seen that.
Yeah.
And for those that don't bet, what that means is he is a massive, like, this week going into the Open, he was plus, because I bet it, I think he was like plus like 300, which in golf is insane.
Yeah.
Most other
Not
tournaments, the favorite is like plus 800, plus 900. He is a huge favorite. We have not seen minus money favorites since Tiger Woods, and we're going to get that with Scotty Scheffler probably at some point in this season with how he's playing. It's incredible.
We're pretty much to Scotty versus the field right now, the way it's going in these major championships. This got me thinking too, Matt, a little bit about dominance in sports right now. And is there a more dominant player in sports than Scotty Scheffler? Because I don't know if there is, like, in mainstream sports. Like, I feel like you could go over to like a UFC, because I'm a big UFC guy. And Ilya Topuria is a guy like that right now, who was their featherweight champion, is moving up to challenge for the lightweight championship here soon. But, like, some people will say Caitlin Clark, and I don't think Caitlin Clark's got the dominance. Caitlin Clark's got the needle. She's the needle mover, right? She's like Tiger in the fact that she doesn't move the needle. She is the needle, but she's not more dominant than all of these girls in the WNBA, and she has her struggles. I don't know if there's a more dominant athlete out there right now than Scotty Scheffler.
I can't think of one. Like, I try to think, racing, like, I would say Max Verstappen, but he's not having a good year from his standard. Like, he was
that, yeah.
And it's a little different because I get, like, some people don't believe auto racing is a sport, which, okay, I kind of listen to. Like, I'm not really a tune of soccer, so, like, I don't know if there is a Messi, Ronaldo type of guy on that. But, yeah, for North American sports, there's no Wayne Gretzky right now in baseball. or I'm sorry, baseball and hockey. There's no like Barry Bonds type in baseball. Like Aaron Judge is close. Like Ohtani is
Shohei
close.
Ohtani.
Yeah. Like maybe those guys just from, and then it's like dominance, but I also think about like inevitability, right? Like when you see Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani hit home runs, you're like, yep, that's how this is going to go. Like it's just bound to happen that way. But yeah, Scotty just in this realm of how he plays, he's only going to lose when he beats himself, and he doesn't beat himself. Like it's just that simple.
I know they lost in the Super Bowl last year, but is Mahomes still that?
It's
multiple
close.
rings and a couple other appearances.
It's close. I don't know. Like maybe you could throw the Chiefs in there. I feel like people keep trying to put them under, but yeah, I don't know. And like even
team sports are so hard too,
for
it's
sure.
Like, there's so many other factors within that. Basketball's a little bit different because you can have a LeBron, Jordan, Steph. Jokic is dominant, but like. Again, not so much to the point of, like, again, his team didn't win the championship. Yeah. He wasn't able just to carry a bad team to a championship or something like that.
SGA, maybe, but he's got to get a couple more, right? Like, he's got to do what he did this year, like, MVP, finals MVP, championship a couple more times here or a couple more times in the next few years to maybe be on that run. And like you said, Matt, the team sports is so hard. One guy I kind of thought of was Paul Skeens.
Sure.
Because he's been dominant, but his record sure doesn't show it because he's on a terrible team and he shuts out another team for 7 innings, but then he can't get a win because his team can't score. So, yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard to do in the team, gauging a team against an individual is tough. I just feel like, outside of Ilya Topuria is the only one I could think of that's close. And I just hope like we don't, I hope like we appreciate this. I talk about this all the time. Like in my life, I got to see the end of Joe Montana go into Tom Brady, go into Patrick Mahomes, and just all the dominance that I've been able to see in great quarterback play. I hope we're appreciating this run from Scotty. Because it is kind of history, and there's no guarantee it's going to last. So it's pretty awesome to see. And let's listen. I think Tiger hurt golf for us in some respects because we expect dominance. We want to see dominance and greatness, and that's what we're getting from Scotty.
It is, and that's where if somebody is able to step up and be that consistent kind of rival or somebody to really push him and be that, then it's just going to make it that much better. But even if there isn't, just the dominance of how he plays and the tournaments that he wins, I think is going to be enough. And it's interesting too, because like I just saw this clip that Bryson was talking about after his round, and he was joking, but he was serious when he said, I played a lot against Scotty in college. Bryson went to SMU, Scotty went to Texas. And he said, I played against Scotty a lot in college. And he goes, he wasn't that good. He goes, so he figured out a lot of stuff. Like that is where I'd like it to be Bryson DeChambeau. I wish it was Bryson DeChambeau.
Yes.
But if he's not going to be there other than just the majors, he's not going to be at the Players. He's not going to be in the FedEx Cup playoffs. They're going to be on the same team for the Ryder Cup. Like, that's just another hard thing to do on this whole Live PGA Tour thing. But it's also, funny to think about Scotty just running through this dominance right now and how much I think individually he has just completely shut down this Live Tour PGA thing, where like the PGA Tour is just completely dominant, and it is because Scotty Scheffler stayed on their tour and he plays for them.
I mentioned that I just got back from vacation, got back late last night, so I've pretty much missed a week of sports here. Matt and Nate, they will catch me up on all the things I missed coming up next. It's Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You found the one, now find the ring. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. On July 25th and 26th, Wedding Weekend is back with event-exclusive pricing for 2 days only. Celebrate with buy one, get one half off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and 10% off handcrafted custom bridal. It's the perfect time to upgrade, personalize, or say yes for the first time. Join us July 25th and 26th on Selma Road or at Easton Town Center.
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its progress? Like at Huntington Bank?
Oh, no.
Is it tracking your spending so you can make the best choices at the mall?
Nope.
Or setting limits on your teenager's debit card?
Definitely not.
Then it could certainly be doing more.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
1-800-GOT-JUNK does two things differently.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
So the donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
Your neighbors are happy, and the planet is healthy.
What's number two?
We have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is the world's largest junk removal service.
And that's good for your neighbors and for the planet.
And for you, because we can come the day you call us.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of four, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
When you're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis, all the F words apply. Football, food, and fun, and fat, and furry. They both have beards. And they dress up like animals and hump things. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Weekday mornings at 6.
The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, 18-count cartons of large grade A Kroger brand eggs are on sale for $2.99 with your digital coupon. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way. If Baths R Us a ring, call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
When you walk up and down the stairs, do you feel a crunch in your knees? Or when you lift your arms above your head, you hear a click in your shoulders? Have you tried steroid shots and now they're suggesting surgery? Before you go under the knife, you should hear me out. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell, and I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without getting more meds and without having to have surgery. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using the treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Their cellular treatment contains growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. Learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast. Tracking some sunshine around here for today. We'll get some showers and storms in the forecast, though, for this afternoon into tonight, and that could bring some heavy rainfall to some locations, especially to our south of I-70. That'll clear out for a Monday, looking at more sunshine here by the afternoon, and then heating up. Highs back to near 90, looking ahead to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Yes, you are, and we're glad to have you along. Ryan Baker, Matt Fontana, Nate Pooterball here with you, taking you up to the Cincinnati Reds as they go for the sweep over the New York Mets here. Coming up at 1:40, coverage on the Fan gets underway at 1:10. So, guys, I have been out for the past week. I was on vacation, and when I go on this little vacation, I totally unplug. The phone stays in the room. I don't watch hardly any TV. I don't really pay attention to anything that's going on if it doesn't involve me eating or drinking or floating on this vacation. So I was kind of out. So you do catch things here and there. So I wrote down a couple things that I didn't pay attention to, I guess, that came across that I saw in the sports world. So the MLB All-Star Game, it's always this week when I'm on vacation. I saw that the National League won, but some people were angry about the finish. We did like a home run derby to determine the winner. Is this right?
Yeah, so it's this swing off, but then I think what most people were upset were a lot of the starters left. Like Shohei Ohtani was not there. So if you're going to set it up this way, that a game that is tied and they're going to, 3 swings and be done, you're like, man, you want Aaron Judge, man, you want Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
They weren't there. They left because that is, and some people, that was news to them. Folks, they do that all the time because these guys are like, I'm out of here. Once they take me out of the game, I'm not going back into the game, and I'm on vacation. A lot of those guys were at the Atlanta airport by the time that they were getting ready to start swinging the swing off or whatever, because they wanted to get to wherever their vacation was going to be. Because I don't want to say it was a nuisance that they're an all-star, but the rest of the guys are hanging out, relaxing on vacation, like Bake was. But, they all want to get there, so they were gone. So I think that was probably, right, Nate? I feel like that was the big driving force of that conversation, was people upset some of the stars weren't there.
And the sad thing is it was actually a really good game, which is not something I've said recently about an all-star game. But, yeah, I think people were just mad, like, oh, who are these guys that are batting at the end of the game?
We're a long way from Pete Rose running over Ray Fosse in an all-star game. It's just not the same anymore. I saw that the T.J. Watt saga in Pittsburgh is over. Highest paid non-quarterback now in the league. I know, Matt, we're going to talk about this a little more coming up here in the next segment with T.J. Watt. We'll also talk about this. Shamar Stewart leaves Bengals camp. Still unsigned, the only first-round pick. If there's one thing that you can always rely on with the Bengals, it's that there's going to be some drama.
And contract issues, right? Because it was not easy to pay even Jamar Chase. It wasn't easy to pay. Well, maybe Jamar was easy. T was not easy to pay and all that. But I just think even overall, like, Nate, this week has been a lot of conversation about draft pick signing, where the second rounders were all held up because they were waiting to see what percentage, and then the domino effect, and Quinshon Judkins we'll get to in a second, all that. But I feel like this whole week about contracts has not even just been T.J. Watt, which has been huge and certainly an impact on Trey Hendrickson, but I think this saga with these second-round picks where you waited for a couple, you got them, and now it's just been this avalanche flood of everybody getting signed because they all got to show up because camp's reporting already.
Yeah, we had Travion waiting until, Friday to sign his contract with the Patriots. And, of course, the Bengals, of the year that there was probably going to be no drama, ended up all drama.
It just always happens. And we talk about the Bengals all the time and their fast starts. I don't think anything is going to help. You mentioned Quinshon Judkins up where you are in Cleveland, Matt. Definitely not looking good. And listen, I thought it was a great draft pick for the Browns. And you never want to have these things, but now he's not in camp. This is a starting running back job that is for the taking. He could be a guy that have got that. Bad time. This is never good timing for this. Definitely not good for his professional career at this timing.
No, and especially because now the team has told him, don't even worry about signing. Don't even worry about showing up. You need to get this figured out first. And with the allegations and the 911 audio was released, and now we kind of know the one side of things from the girlfriend or former girlfriend of what happened. And if that was actually what happened or what is found to be true, he's going to be suspended. I mean, there's people that feel like he's going to be suspended no matter what, but especially if the allegations come to be true about what happened, where she says he hit her in the face. I mean, that is going to be a suspension, no question about it. And yeah, to start your career that way, in a position dire need for the Browns, who let Nick Chubb walk away. They do have Dylan Sampson. They've got these other pieces, but, you know, it's something that I've had to discuss a lot this week on my own show and been talking with people about it, the reflection of the Cleveland Browns. And I guess even where we're at in Columbus, in a way of a reflection of this is so eerily similar of like the second year in a row that a second-round draft pick out of Ohio State is going to miss the part of camp and part of the season for an off-the-field domestic violence situation. Last year it was Mike Hall, and I know Judkins spent a lot of time at Ole Miss and then transferred to Ohio State, and I've had a lot of people telling me about his time at Ole Miss this week. Now, apparently, he was a malcontent there, but nobody knew that or nobody said anything. Like, it's a little different where Mike Hall, there were some things that we looked at, and you kind of were like, okay, you know, and it doesn't excuse any of this. But Quinshon Judkins, there was nothing. Okay, so we got into a spat with Lane Kiffin, and some of his teammates at Ole Miss didn't like him. There wasn't anything that you thought would preclude to this type of thing. And then I've also spent a good chunk of this week, Nate, yelling at people that say, well, this is Andrew Berry's fault. I go, what do you want Andrew Berry to do? Follow these kids around? Should he have been in the car? Should he have been there at 3 a.m. or whatever time it was that they got off that plane? Like, these are, and they're like, well, he's a kid. He's 21 years old. He's an adult. He's made as much money in the NIL. He's got all this money waiting for him in the NFL. He's an adult. And it doesn't take you 21 years to understand you should not put your hands on somebody, especially a woman. So all that aside, he's an adult, and he needs to make those decisions. There are going to be consequences for this. And, you know, I want to hear from Quinshon because I still – and I hope there's a level of remorse and acceptance if what happened really did happen. We got to play that out. But right now, the Browns are just saying, hey, don't even worry about showing up. Don't even worry about signing your contract. Get this figured out first.
And if you're the Browns, you have enough issues that you've been worrying about this offseason with the quarterback drama and, you know, maybe just having to tank this year already and the stadium issues. And this was just one other thing to pile onto the list this year.
Yeah, not good for Browns fans, not good for Buckeye fans, any of this, and just a not good situation in general. The one thing I probably paid the most attention to, because it's the thing that I really care about the most, Igor Chinnikov of the Blue Jackets, his trade request comes public this week. We will talk about that coming up in the show as well. And then I saw Dave Portnoy. Big noon, huh?
Yeah. If you can't get Pat McAfee, I guess you just try to create your own Pat McAfee. Like, that's basically what that was my vibe on that whole thing. I mean, I really think it was only a matter of time before, like, Barstool was going to get hooked back up with, like, a network. And obviously there was a massive change at Fox with a lot of the shows that they had going there. And some I never really understood, to be honest with you, just as, like, you know, I'm kind of like you guys. I'm like a lot of people listen. I really do consider myself just the average Joe sports fan. And what shows do I like to tune into? Which, you know, sports do I like and all that? And there are just some shows there that I just think and obviously, you know, it is what it is. You do this job long enough, you're going to get fired. But it's one of those things you look at, and I was like, So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of intrigued. They got my intrigue on some of those moves.
I am inclined to not like Dave Portnoy to begin with, and it almost has nothing to do with all the Michigan stuff.
Yeah.
But like with me, like you said, it comes off as ripping off McAfee. At least McAfee talks sports for most of his time at Barstool and on his own show. Dave is just a random guy who occasionally yells about Michigan.
I think it's going to be fun, though. The first time he yells about Michigan and him and Urban go at it, that should be pretty fun as well. We mentioned T.J. Watt. He signs his deal. What could that mean for the team down I-71? We'll discuss that in 2 minutes. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
It's July in Central Ohio. The grills are hot, the sun is hotter, and chances are you've seen a Newman Roofing truck rolling through your neighborhood. Maybe you've talked to one of our team members at a local event or know someone who proudly says, "Yeah, I've got a Newman roof." At Newman Roofing, we're more than just a roofing company. We're your neighbors. And for the last 33 years, your support has helped us grow as a family-owned business. So we give back the best way we know how, with quality work, lasting relationships, and a lifetime workmanship warranty that means you'll never be left out in the rain. Thousands of families across Central Ohio have trusted us and had their expectations exceeded. And it's why we've been voted Best Roofing Company in Best of the Bus magazine for 4 years running now. So this summer, don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Sunday.
After this past week at the beach, there's a possibility, maybe.
Residual?
Maybe.
Residual?
A little leftovers in there, I'm not sure. Ryan Baker, Matt Fontana, Nate Peterball, thanks for joining us. It is a Fan Sports Sunday. So we're not used to really usually contract situations very often with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and usually when those things happen, those players end up moving on from the Pittsburgh Steelers because it's not something they deal with much. But TJ Watt is a different bird. He's one of the best, if not the best, in the game at his position, a great leader on the team, does it all. And I don't think we ever thought this was going to linger on into the season and be a problem. I think everybody kind of thought, because of the organization that the Steelers are and the player that TJ Watt is, that this was going to get done. But it is official now. TJ Watt, the highest paid non-quarterback in the league, 3-year, $123 million deal. 108 of it was fully guaranteed at signing. The 41 AAV higher than Jamar Chase's 40.25 and Myles Garrett's $40 million a year. And that was the thing, right? Especially Myles Garrett, but you get that highest paid non-quarterback. And I think as a Browns fan, Matt, and watching TJ Watt just wreck Browns offenses for years, I think this is well-deserved, and he may be the best non-quarterback in the league. And I know a lot of Browns fans will not like it when I say this. I think he's the best defensive end in the league. And if I had one to get, it would be him.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start by saying this. He and Myles Garrett, I think, are in a class of their own. That's no offense to Micah Parsons, who I think is close. No offense to like Nick Bosa, who, again, I think is close. I need more out of Aiden Hutchinson. I've been known to be a little bit of a Trey Hendrickson hater, and again, he's good. I truly believe Myles Garrett and TJ Watt are in their own stratosphere when it comes to pass rushers. And I think last year with Watt, the injuries starting to seem to pile up. And it's like we're talking about rivalries, like even in golf, right, with Tiger and Phil and, Scotty and all that kind of stuff. And I think when you talk about Myles and TJ Watt, it's like there's times that TJ was on and he was clearly better. And then there's just times that I think Miles has just been a little bit better. I think we're in a little bit of the Miles era right now, but I could see that easily swing back over, to TJ Watt's side of things. And I take either one. Like, if you're telling me right here, again, I'm biased. I'm a Browns fan, so I would say Miles. But if they're like, hey, you're starting a football team today, once you take your quarterback, who's next? Yeah, I'd be happy with either one of those guys on my team, and they're both elite. Nobody's had more sacks over the last 5 years than TJ Watt. Again, Myles Garrett's right there. Their pass rush win rate, I think the two things, the one thing that I should say that separates those two more than the other pass rushers, you mentioned it, Big. Those guys wreck games. I watched those two guys somehow single-handedly, Superman style, go out there and impact a game and wreck a game. That's different. Whatever stat you want to put on that, to watch them make the plays that they do, that's why I have those two guys higher than the other two. And then the final thing I'll say about the contract, you kind of brought it up, that I think there's a little game to be played here. The two guys he passed, Jamar Chase and Myles Garrett, they're in the same division.
Yeah.
Don't tell me the Steelers were sitting there saying, listen, you deserve this money, TJ, but we're going to let you go ahead and pass these other two guys on these other two teams that are right in our division. I think there's more of a Browns-Steelers rivalry than the Bengals-Steelers, but it's still there. I think that was a big factor in that for sure.
So you mentioned TJ Hendrickson, and it's kind of, I actually started doing this before I left on vacation a little bit, looking at some of these numbers that I put on our stat sheet. But it's these three guys all came into the league at the same time. And Miles and TJ's numbers are career-wise way better than Trey Hendrickson. But Trey Hendrickson was kind of like the Scotty Scheffler of these guys. Like, he didn't get off to the fast start. He was kind of a project and worked on his game and got a lot better. But the last 5 years, these guys' stats are very similar. And it makes you think, what does this deal with TJ Watt do for the Trey Hendrickson deal? They're obviously at odds here with everything going on. I think the Trey Hendrickson situation with Cincinnati was always more worrisome and tenuous than what was going on and what would happen with TJ Watt in Pittsburgh. But we're talking about TJ Watt with the $41 million a year, Myles Garrett with $40. If I'm Trey Hendrickson here and say, look, my production is just as good as these guys the last handful of years. I led the league in sacks last year. I've had 17.5 both the last 2 years. Trey Hendrickson got a lot of leverage here, I feel like, with, hey, look at these guys. I should, and you said maybe he's a notch below, but the production is right there.
And absolutely then you can say, okay, well, here's our number. What is that notch below? And then I think that kind of falls back on if Trey Hendrickson wants to fight for that dollar and feel like he's in that, or, be honest and be realistic to say, I'm not going to get $40 million a year, but I'm going to shoot for, 30. And then and that's the most interesting thing to me is, like, I think I have a good idea of what Trey Hendrickson feels like he's worth. I have no idea what the Cincinnati Bengals think Trey Hendrickson is worth. I really don't, Bacon. That's I think probably the hang-up in this is, do they want to come straight out in these negotiations and be like, dude, we are tens of millions of dollars off. We're not $2-3 million off. Like, we're almost $10 million off per year. Like, this is too big of a gap. And then do you finally come to the realization that you might have to trade him? And whichever team trades for him obviously knows we have to give him a contract. And that's not the first time that's happened in basketball or baseball or football or any of those sports. I totally get it. But he's not going to get the same amount of money, because that team's going to sit there and say, yeah, we're going to pay you, but we had to give up a third-round pick, or we had to give up whatever pick we had to give up to get you, and that's coming out of your pocket, And would Trey Hendrickson accept that going to a new team just because he's so pissed off at the Bengals? Mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah, blank them. I don't want to play there anymore, so I'll take less money to go to. I saw Packers trade, this morning for Trey Hendrickson or whoever else, right, that could really be that interested in him. I don't know. Like, if I'm the Bengals, I'll ask you guys, what are you doing? I actually really, for the first time, am starting to think they're going to trade him. I do.
It may come to that spot. I think they're going to try to play hardball and make him play this year without an extension. Now, he did sign in 2023 a 1-year, $21 million extension, which is what he will be playing on this year, coming off of a 4-year, $60 million deal, so $15 million a year. It sounds like he signed that extension in good faith, like, hey, let's get this done, and then we're going to work on a contract. I just think with the Bengals, I think about all of the talk and issues last offseason. If they would have just signed Jamar Chase last year, and if they would have just signed Trey Hendrickson last year, what a discount that would have been at compared to the 40.25 Jamar Chase is going to be getting every year now, and probably the close to $40 million that Trey Hendrickson is asking for now. I'm pretty sure if you would have given Trey Hendrickson a 4-year deal worth about $30 million a year last offseason, he would have took it. And you would have him way cheaper than you're going to have to pay him if you decide to pay him. And if you're the Bengals, I think you have to pay him because you don't have much else on the defensive side of the ball.
No, you're 100% correct. Like, that's a scary thought for the Bengals to trade him away. And then especially if it was just for a draft pick that's not going to impact you this season. You, at this point, don't have Shamar Stewart. But even if Shamar Stewart signs, he's still a rookie. How do you know exactly what he's going to be? And you're so right because there's not many facts in life that are 100% always true. And especially in sports, there is one. The longer you wait, the more it costs you. Mm-hmm. That is always the case. That is always true. Receivers, quarterbacks, defensive ends, corners, it doesn't matter. The longer you wait in today's NFL, the more you're going to have to pay. And they waited, they played the game, and now they're in a really, really sticky situation.
Rothman and Ice always play the sound clip. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Correct.
That sure is the case with the Bengals. It just seems like in hindsight, they should have really got out in front of them. Hey, that's one thing the Philadelphia Eagles have done, and that's why they were the Super Bowl champs last year. They've gotten out ahead of those contracts and gotten their players signed to what are now team-friendly deals, and they were able to add all kinds of players and win that Super Bowl championship. The CBJ, their offseason hasn't been great so far, and it took a hit this week. We'll talk about it next. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
When you walk up and down the stairs, do you feel a crunch in your knees? Or when you lift your arms above your head, you hear a click in your shoulders? Have you tried steroid shots and NIDA-suggested surgery? Before you go under the knife, you should hear me out. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell, and I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without getting more meds and without having to have surgery. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using the treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Their cellular treatment contains growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. Learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Get your air conditioner ready to go for warmer temperatures ahead with Logan AC and Heat Services. Right now, service calls are just $79. Tune-ups are also $79. Talk to one of our service technicians about how you can improve your home comfort. Online scheduling is easy and takes just minutes. So visit our website and book your appointment now. Fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-for-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS-for-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Let's be honest, we could all use a little vacation from the ordinary. But with Tim Hortons' new refreshers, you don't need to pack your bags. Just sip, relax, and enjoy your refreshing 16-ounce vacation. With tropical mango packed with real pineapple and mango pieces. And strawberry watermelon kiwi featuring real pieces of strawberry and kiwi. Also, try it with lemonade or coconut milk. A choose-your-own taste bud adventure. Head to Tim's for the new refreshers. Your 16-ounce vacation awaits. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment, facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
Matty Ice here, up at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. They are celebrating July 4th all month long. Right now, for qualified buyers, get up to $12,000 off MSRP on a 25 Silverado 1500. With McDaniel GM Superstore, you don't have to worry about market adjustments or hidden costs. That's why they are my go-to for a new vehicle. They are just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway and refresh the vibe with 69-cent large big gulp drinks. Get 69-cent large big gulp drinks at Speedway with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
So I don't think it's any secret, Matt, that I am a big-time Blue Jackets fan. It is my number one. I have a sickness. I have admittedly watched a Columbus Blue Jackets regular season game over an Ohio State-Michigan game before. I have a sickness, and I have been a little, I don't know if disappointed is the word. I don't know what to say. I don't know what the word is about what's gone on with the Blue Jackets so far in this offseason. You know, Don Waddell said they came into the offseason. They wanted to improve their top 6. They wanted to improve their top 4 on defense. And maybe there would be something with the goalie situation. Well, none of that has happened so far. They did re-sign Dante Fabro to a team-friendly contract. I like that move. They re-signed Ivan Provorov. It was probably a little bit of an overpay. But there is something to say, I think, especially with defense and continuity. And the defense last year when they had Matejchuk, Fabro, Provorov, and Werenski all in the lineup together, the numbers were pretty daggone good. And with Provorov, the one thing you know you're getting is you're getting 82 games a year, and you're getting somewhere between 30 and 40 points because you pretty much have his whole career, 7-8 years, whatever it is, of that every year he has been in the league. When they weren't able to add anyone to their top 6, though, that put a lot of pressure to me on one Dmitry Voronkov, who did get re-signed, and Yegor Chinnikov. And Yegor Chinnikov is a guy who has definitely flashed. He's got a ton of skills. One of the fastest skaters in the league, one of the hardest shots in the league, a very dynamic player. But there's been issues with injuries. He can't stay healthy, and he got off to a good start last year, and then he injured his back, and it took him a long time to get back, over 30 games, and it did seem like there was some kind of what's going on. The Blue Jackets said it just kind of seemed like a pain tolerance thing with him, that everything they had checked out with his back, it was okay, and he was told he could play, and if he didn't, it was because the pain tolerance thing. I remember all of that, and it just seemed really weird. And then he came back, and he wasn't himself, and then he gets healthy scratched for, I think, the final 12 or 14 games of the season. And then you hear he went overseas to get a back procedure that he couldn't get done here, and it all just seemed really weird. And then we got this on Thursday from Chinnikov's agent. He posted it on X, and it seemed to be a quote from the winger. I had some misunderstandings with the coach during the season. Now I would be glad to have a trade. I would like to move to a different location. Will I return to Russia? As long as I can play in the NHL, I will keep developing here. And it just seemed like, man, from everything with the back injury this year, and he's fine, he can play, it's just a pain tolerance, and then this, none of it seemed good.
No, and it's like an unfortunate thing. I'm like you, Bake. I'm a diehard Blue Jackets fan, have been literally since day one. One of my earliest memories of the very first game watching, and I've been a fan ever since. And, the thing about the Jackets, it's been through different coaches and different front offices in a way, but like Sonny Milano, David Urich, like there's just all these ones where these guys show up. Like, I think Patrick Laine was a little bit different with things and all that. Pierre-Luc Dubois, like, it just keeps happening over and over again where these guys, and the one that I don't get is Chinnikov, because when they drafted him, remember, they didn't even have video of him in the first round, because they go,
sure.
Wait, what, you 21? This guy was supposed to go in the second, maybe even third round. Now, the thing is, all the stuff you mentioned is kind of where I saw the Jackets. I'm like, okay, I kind of see what you see there. And they were all excited. So I'm not saying that Yegor Chinnikov should be in forever debt to the Blue Jackets for overdrafting him and being there. But, like, let's just cut it this way. What has he shown? Yes, promise. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
How is that the organization's fault? Unless they're really sitting there and saying, yeah, don't, like, and we see this sometimes in other sports too, they're at odds about what they should do to fix this problem, or what, should you get surgery or this type of surgery versus that. Did I miss that? I don't know. Is that where we're at right now? Or is he just think like he's not going to get time? Because I got news for him. Bro, there's time for you on this team. They'd love you to take a big role on this team. They need that. So that's where, like, this was so, I don't want to say out of left field, because I'm sure he's extremely frustrated that he's got to keep fighting through these injuries, that he's still, having to go back to the AHL from time to get this done. Like, at this point of where his career should be, yes, he should be an everyday, he never comes out of the lineup except for injury type of guy, and frankly, a top 2 right winger on this team. That's what he should be. He's not, because he keeps getting hurt, but it's like the team wants you. You should be right there with Kirill Marchenko. You should be right behind Marchie on that. You mentioned Voronkov. I love Ronnie. I'm so happy that they got him. Not that he was going to go anywhere. He's a restricted free agent, but like, I think that was a real diamond in the rough find. And for this team that, I'm going to paint with a broad brush here. I don't think it's this easy, but I think if they could just get consistent out of Elvis Merzlikins, I can't quite put everything on Jet Greaves. I know he had an amazing finish to the season, but like, if they could just get that goaltending situation figured out, this should be, without a question, a playoff contending team. And they should make that. And a guy like Yegor Chinnikov should be a big part of that. So, like, I don't think this is the right thing. I'm sure he's just upset. And I hope the Blue Jackets sit him down and go, it ain't happening, man. This is not happening. So get healthy, that procedure overseas is a little interesting, but like get healthy. And if you want to play this game, you're going to have to go back to Russia because we're not trading you. It's just not going to happen.
I was just curious and just kind of looking through the list recently of Jarmo Kekalainen first-round draft picks.
Oh,
it's
an interesting list.
We talk about Jarmo and the years he was at the Jackets, like one of the better GMs we've had. He's missed almost completely on everyone in the first round. I mean, Kirby Reichel never developed in anything. Marco Dano didn't develop anything.
I wanted Marco Dano to be so
Gabriel
good.
Carlson.
Oh, yeah.
Who is that? Liam Foudy hasn't developed into anything. Like Ken Johnson, is fine, but he's not like
KJ's fine.
David Cheredek.
He wanted out. He got traded.
It's just like another bad Jarmo pick.
I don't know if that's fair saying Chinakhov is a bad Jarmo pick because nobody really knew who this guy was. And he's, there's injuries here, and it's unfortunate that it looks like this relationship with the Blue Jackets is going to go away. But there's no doubt this guy is he's a top 9 NHLer. If he could stay healthy, he would probably be a top 6. And it sounds like that's where some of the issue was, right? Like last year, he was playing on the first line. He was doing okay. Then he went down to the third line, the back injury, and you get the scratch. His agent was asked if he thought the relationship with Chinakhov and Evason could be repaired, and he said during the season he didn't tell him anything, which I really find that hard to believe. He said Chinakhov said he didn't talk to him about anything the whole season. He just always said the assistant coaches would tell him everything. You think in 365 days it didn't change anything, but you think it's going to change now? I don't think so. Some coaches like players, some coaches like other players. I don't know if that's true. I really find it hard to believe just knowing how Dean Evason is. But you're right, Matt. Like, if they can't find a trade partner, Waddell has said, and it is suitable trade, like an equal value trade, they're going to keep him and they expect him to play. And if he comes in and plays, and he's playing at his ability and he stays healthy and he gets the ice time that he thinks he deserves, I have a feeling this will all go away.
I hope so. And the thing is, they want to give him that ice time. Like we were talking about, they need him. They need him bad. They would love that to give him that time as a top 2 guy, on at least again on the second line. And I think that opened it up. And you mentioned Dean Evason, and I think the important thing here is with that all that turmoil, and just getting through the coaching changes and all that. I felt the stability finally. Like, again, even with front office changes and all these other things, and I like the direction the Jackets are on. They're not there yet, but I love the direction they're on. But this is one of these, we need to set a standard here. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the first kind of ones for this regime, so to speak, of like, how are you going to handle it? And they've had, other situations certainly, but like, what are you going to do here? And what message are you going to send? And that's why I hope they send a strong one and say to Yegor Chinakhov, man, we again, I understand you're upset. We get where that frustration comes from. We're not trading you. We need you to be healthy, and we'll see a training camp here coming up in a little bit.
A former Buckeye sued the university. It has been dismissed. We'll tell you about it next. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
The 2 most mature people working at the radio station, and that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Now you can get 50% off all window styles plus no interest until 2030. Stop procrastinating on upgrading your home. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com today to take advantage of Window Nation's best deal of the year.
At United Dairy Farmers, Peach is our most popular ice cream. And once you taste it, you'll know why. Right now, get 2 48-ounce cartons of UDF Peach ice cream for $10. It's only here for a short time. UDF Peach ice cream, made for you.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes. Teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and
It just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, you know that complete HVAC system we sell for $12,000?
Yeah, it's for homes that are 1,600 square feet or less.
How big is 1,600 square feet?
3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. Those homes are what America is made of.
Get Eco.
ECO. Other companies are charging $15,000 to $18,000 for that same system.
Yeah, I know.
And if your family doesn't need a new furnace, Eco will replace the AC component for just $8,500. Why are we doing this?
Nurses, police officers, office workers, firefighters, and school teachers live in those houses, Jerry.
The people that America is made of live in the houses that America is made of.
We're just doing what we can to restore balance to the universe, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO. When a person is doing well, they're making money. But when they're doing good, they're helping others.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
We're bringing balance to the universe.
Go to geteco.com.
The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tales of animals from around the world. Explore our newest region, North America Trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails only at your Columbus Zoo.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Nate Puderball. In baseball last night, the Reds knocked off the Mets in New York 5-2. Jake Fraley had a career high 3 hits and drove in 2 runs to lead the Reds. They'll wrap up their series today at 1:40 with Andrew Abbott taking the mound for the Reds against David Peterson. Catch the action right here on The Fan. And Cleveland, the Athletics blasted the Guardians 8-2, hitting 3 home runs in the final 2 innings. The rubber match of the series is at 1:40 with Jeffrey Springs squaring off against the Guardians' Gavin Williams. At the Royal Portrush Golf Club, it's the final round of the Open Championship. Scotty Scheffler has a commanding lead at -17 with Chris Gotterup and Harris English battling for second at -12. And Columbus Crew SC knocked off DC United last night 2-1. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Final segment of Fan Sports Sunday today. We've got just about 6 minutes left for you. Then the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Mets take over. Matt, one of my favorite things in life, maybe I'm being sarcastic here, is when government gets involved in sports and all of this. And it just always drives me nuts. And I know this isn't totally sports here, but an Ohio judge has dismissed Terrell Pryor's lawsuit against Ohio State, the Big Ten, and the NCAA over denied compensation for name, image, and likeness during his career. And listen, I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm not. The NIL stuff, as far as like true name, image, and likeness, doesn't bother me. And maybe these players should have been getting paid all the time for their likeness in video games or their jersey and whatnot. And that stuff doesn't bother me. And maybe they should have been getting it all along. I don't know. But it wasn't the rules we had by then, you know, and like those weren't the rules we were playing by. And everybody gets mad about the steroid era in baseball, and maybe they should, but like blame MLB, right? Like they didn't have the rules. These players were just playing by the rules that were there at the time. And I'm glad this lawsuit got thrown out because like it just wasn't the world we lived in at that time, right, wrong, or indifferent. And I don't know how to feel about all of this, but I didn't even know Terrell Pryor had sued Ohio State. I guess it came on the heels of Reggie Bush doing the same to USC, but I had no clue this was even a story until it wasn't anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, it sucks because for these guys, like, yes, you would think Terrell Pryor would have made so much money in NIL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, man, you played in the wrong era. Like, think about how much money Ken Griffey Jr. would make if he played right now. Go back to, I mean, even further, like how much would have all the great players in the 70s in whatever sport, right? You had guys that were signing deals back then. Pete Rose, somebody mentioned Pete Rose earlier, right? Like, he was breaking records at $1 million, right? Like, well, now guys make that every other at bat or something. It's just, sorry, you played in the wrong era. I don't know what to tell you. Roll the dice, man. Sorry about it. It sucks. But I get that they opened this up and they had, like, what, a 4-year window or something like that for people to bring up their grievances or file for this or sue for this or sue for that. Hey, sorry. That's how it goes sometimes. And I get it because Terrell Pryor would be one of the guys that you would look at and say, yeah, how super uber popular he was at Ohio State. The recruitment of him out of Jeanette, PA. I mean, there was clips going around.
Spectacle.
Gosh, yeah, I can't remember who it was. There's a clip, you can find it, and they were talking about the greatest high school prospect they ever saw. I feel like it was Brian Baldinger. Somebody was involved in this. Anyway, and they were talking about it. Might have been Andrew Brandt. And he goes, best football prospect I've ever seen in my life, hands down, no question, Terrell Pryor. He goes, it is undeniable that it was Terrell Pryor. And the point, and again, I think it was Andrew Brandt, he goes, that guy would have been a 5-star at any position. Quarterback, receiver, defensive end, corner, safety, linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter. He was 6'4", 245 pounds, and ran a 4.4 40. He would have been a stud at any position. And yeah, I mean, he was the best. Obviously, it didn't end how you wanted it to at Ohio State. But sorry, man, you just played in the wrong era. You're a little too early for your time, I guess.
And I don't remember if he was a 5-star, but he was a big-time basketball recruit.
They thought he was going to go play for Jamie Dixon.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Prospect as well. And you know what's funny? I always forget about Terrell Pryor. He was a 1,000-yard receiver in the NFL. He had a 1,000-yard receiving year with the Cleveland Browns. And I always wonder, we talk a lot, Matt, about what-ifs in sports. What if Terrell Pryor would have came to Ohio State and just focused on receiver and never played quarterback? How different his career might have been, how great maybe he was. I think of that with Braxton Miller, too. If Braxton would have came here and just focused on receiver, what they would have been like at the next level.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I think I'm one that always tries to bring up Pryor when people talk about some of the great quarterbacks. And I get that he doesn't have a national championship and he doesn't have quite some of the other accolades that he doesn't have the Heisman like Troy Smith or things like that. But, man, that was my era. That was one of my favorite eras of Ohio State football was the Terrell Pryor-led teams. And, again, it didn't end great and didn't quite have the success that you thought it was. But, I mean, the guy was electric. That is undeniable. I think he is without a doubt on the Mount Rushmore of electric Ohio State players. And, yeah, you're right. Like, he probably could have done it as a receiver. And if he would have just done that, from the jump where maybe his career could have been or would have gone. And again, I can't forget, too, he's still drafted in the 3rd round as a quarterback.
Yeah.
In a supplemental draft, I'm pretty sure, with Oakland.
2011 supplemental draft.
Yeah, supplemental 3rd-round quarterback. So, I mean, and he got some starts and got some wins as quarterback in the NFL and then still made that switch and became a 1,000-yard receiver. Just tells you all about it.
Maybe he could have been better at quarterback in the NFL if Hugh Jackson wasn't his head coach. So we'll see.
Dude, it's so funny. Hugh had this thing about Terrell Pryor. There was something that he had about Terrell Pryor. He loved him. He couldn't get enough of him.
Matt, it was fun. I appreciate you as always on a Sunday. Nate, thank you for you. Cincinnati Reds, New York Mets coming up.